He's saying that bathing well water is the inferior kind of bath. Bathing in a pond is better. Bathing in a lake, better still. And bathing in a river is even better. In this way, one should bathe. On Ekadasi, one should be free of greed and anger. And one should not talk to sinful people, atheists and offenders. One who follows the vow of Ekadasi should not talk to liars, offenders of brahmanas, sinners, debauchees, thieves, adulterers, and those who are ill-behaved and immoral. In the home, one should, with devotion in heart, worship Lord Krishna and offer him food and lamp. From the Brahmanas, one should hear the stories of Lord Krishna and then offer dakshina to them. As soon as it came to dakshina, there was some commotion. And one should keep a vigil, singing the glories of Lord Krishna throughout the entire night. No sleeping also. Yeah, it's tough. When Ekadashi has ended and the Dwadashi has come, one should avoid these 10 things. Eating from brass dish, eating flesh, masur dal, kodrav of grain, chickpeas, spinach, honey, the food of others, eating twice, and sex. One should also avoid gambling, playing, sleeping, chewing betel nuts, and brushing the teeth. On Ekadasi, one should avoid harsh speech, slander, theft, violence, sex, anger, and speaking lies. On Dwadashi, one should avoid, okay, that has been done. By following these rules, one should observe the great vow of Ekadasi and Dwadashi. Then the gopis said, "O noble-hearted one, please tell us when the vow of Ekadasi should be observed. What is the result of following Ekadasi? Please tell us. Please tell us in..." Okay. Sri Radha said, if Dwadasi begins with the first 20, anyway, that's Mahadadasi. When Ekadasi, Dwadasi begins before the Ekadasi ends, then that is called Dadasi Biddha Ekadasi. Ekadasi overlapped by Dwadasi. And on that occasion, one doesn't observe Ekadasi, but it is observed Mahadwadasi. And the benefit of Mahadwadasi is 1,000 times greater than Ekadasi. One who observes the vows of Ekadasi and Dwadasi attains the same pious result one attains by feeding 88 Brahmanas. One who follows Ekadasi attains a pious result thousands of times greater than pious result attained by performing the ritual of mixing the earth and the ocean. For those who are drowning in the ocean of repeated birth and death, an ocean muddy with many sins, the vow of fasting on Ekadasi is the best means of deliverance. So in this way, Radharani is explaining, the result obtained by performing 1,000 Ashwamedha Yajnas and 100 Rajasuya Yajnas are not equal to even a 16th part of the result of fasting on Ekadasi. 1,000 Ashwamedhas and 100 Rajasuya doesn't compare to even 1/16th part of the benefit derived out of observing Ekadasi. One who observes Ekadasi delivers 10 generations of his mother's family, 10 generations of his father's family, and 10 generations of his wife's family. O gopis, as a fire burns a great pile of cotton, a single Ekadashi burns the great Mount Meru of sins committed during 100 births. One who on Ekadashi hears the stories of Lord Krishna attains the same pious result he would attain by giving a great amount of charity everywhere on the 7 continents. O gopis, as Lord Shesha is the best of serpents, as Garuda is the best of birds, as Vishnu is the best of deities, as the Brahmanas are the best of social order, as the banyan is the best of trees, and as a tulasi leaf is the best of leaves, fasting on Ekadasi is the best of sacred vows. O girls of Braja, I have thus described to you the results of following the vow of Ekadasi. Please observe the vow of Ekadasi beginning at once. And the result will be, you will get Krishna. Yeah. Krishna prapti hoy jaha hoite. Okay. So, so this is another anecdote. So, in their homes, different girls were born, like in their homes, by benediction granted by Lord Narayan, were born the girls of Rama Vaikuntha, Urdhva Vaikuntha, Lokachala, and Ajitapad, who had all been born from the ocean of milk and who were all friends of the goddess of fortune. By churning of the milk ocean, Lakshmi Devi appeared, and along with her, these residents also appeared, the girls of Rama Vaikuntha, Urdhva Vaikuntha, Lokachala, and Ajitapada. So they were born in the 6 Vrishabhanu families. Always thinking of Lord Krishna's lotus feet to gain his favor, they followed the vow of Magha Brata. On the 5th day of the bright fortnight in the month of Magh, January, February, as springtime was about to begin, to test their love for him, Lord Krishna went to these gopis' homes. So they observed the Magh Brata, and then Krishna, dressed in a tiger skin, his hair matted, and his natural opulence concealed by playing the flute, he enchanted all the worlds. Seeing him on the path, the enchanted gopis were overwhelmed with love. To gaze at him, they came close. As they gazed at the very handsome yogi, the blissful gopis spoke among themselves. The gopis said, "Who is this? Is this Nanda's son, or the son of a wealthy king? Is he renounced because his heart was broken by a woman's harsh word? Or because has performed many pious deeds? He is very handsome. His features are graceful and delicate, like Kamdev. He charms the hearts of the entire world. Oh, how can he live without mother, father, sister, and wife?" Filled with wonder and love, the assembled girls of Braja asked many questions. The gopis said, "O yogi, who are you? What is your name? O sage, where do you live? What do you do? What mystic power have you attained? O best of the eloquent speakers, please tell us. The perfect yogi said, I am a master of yoga. I always stay at Mansarovar. My name is Sayang Prakash. I never eat. My mystic power keeps me alive. The girls of Braja said, I have attained great treasure of the Paramahamsas. O girls of Braja. I have attained the great treasure of the Paramahamsas. I have spiritual eyes. I can see the past, present, and future. Please tell us one thing. What are we thinking about? What are you thinking about at this moment? The perfect girl said, the answer to this question I will now whisper to your. The gopis actually asked, This is the gopis asking, you know the past, present, and future. Please tell us what is in our mind. The perfect yogi says, the answer to this question I will now whisper into each girl's ear. Or if you request, I'll speak it aloud so all may hear. The gopi said, O sage, if it is true that you are a master of yoga, and if without doubt you know the past, present, and future, and if merely by chanting a mantra you can actually bring others under your control, then we think you must be the best of all mantra chanters. The perfect yogi said, any impossible things you ask, I can do. The words of saintly persons do not prove false. O girls, do not lament. Close your eyes and you will attain your wish. Of this there is no doubt. As the gopis stood and closed their eyes, Lord Krishna abandoned the form of the yogi and again became Krishna. The son of Nanda, opening their eyes, they happily gazed at Krishna. The son of Nanda, delighted, filled with wonder, and now aware of his transcendental prowess, the gopis fainted in consciousness. Lord Krishna enjoyed with these girls in the great Rasa dance in sacred Vrindavan forest during the month of Magh. So this is how. I'll just tell two stories. One is of course from Garga Samhita. I'll just briefly tell that. It's quite a funny story actually, and you may have heard that. Did you ever heard Durvasa is Anahari and Krishna is Brahmachari? You heard that? Do you know the background? No? Okay. So one day gopis are waiting for Krishna. Krishna came quite late. So the gopis are quite upset. Why did you come so late? We have been waiting for you. He said, you see, my guru was there on the other side of Jamuna. So because I went to meet him, so I got late. Please don't mind. Oh, your guru is here. Let's go and see him. So, what's the name of your guru? Durvasa. And can you go and see him? Yeah, sure, you can go see him. But make it a point to greet him nicely and treat him nicely. So hearing that, the gopis cooked many nice, delicious prasad. And then, they actually asked Krishna, but Krishna, it is so late at night. there won't be any boatmen. How can he cross the river? So Krishna said, when you go to Jamuna, you just say, Krishna is a brahmachari. So they went to Jamuna, and as they said, Krishna is a brahmachari, the Jamuna parted, made way for them to cross. And they carried many, many delicious prasad, and they all offered it to Durvasa, and they made Durvasa eat. And so, whatever they took, he ate everything. Huge amount of prasad. Ate everything. So then they realized it's so late at night, there won't be any boat. So they said, we have to go back home. Like we came here without thinking. So how are we going to cross the river? So Durvasa said, when you go to Jamuna, you just chant the mantra, Durvasa is anahari, meaning Durvasa doesn't eat. And when they came to Jamuna and they chanted, Jamuna parted. They crossed. They came to Krishna. He says, like guru, like disciple. Both of you are such liars. You brahmachari. And him, after eating all that we had taken, and he is saying that he is anahari. Then Krishna said, you see, Durvasa actually eats only durva grass. He doesn't eat anything. But because you all wanted, he simply fulfilled your desire. He is doing it not for his sake. Therefore, he is not actually the eating it as such. For your sake, he is simply fulfilling your desire. He is not affected by that act. And in this way, Krishna left the other part also unspoken, but understood. It is not that Krishna needs them. They need it. They wanted Krishna, therefore Krishna fulfilled their desire. So this is, I thought of telling because this phrase is quite common. Krishna is brahmachari and Durvasa is anahari. Now, on the first day I actually mentioned that it is, in ISKCON we are very careful about delving into or dwelling into Krishna's intimate pastimes, especially from 10th canto, 29th to 24th chapter, Rasa Panchadhari. And so that is because, as I mentioned, that very mercifully Krishna gave us his own form. Krishna is Dibhuj Shyam Sundar. He is two-armed. And this form he has given us. Therefore, sometimes we may tend to think that Krishna is also like another one of us. And we may think that what Krishna can do, we can also do. No. That is where Prabhupada was so particular. First Bhagavad Gita, understand who Krishna is. Then also when you approach Srimad Bhagavatam, canto by canto, starting from Krishna's lotus feet, you go up. First two cantos are Krishna's lotus feet. Third and fourth cantos are Krishna's thighs. Fifth canto is Krishna's abdomen. 6th chest, 7th and 8th 2 arms, 9th his neck, and 10th canto is his smiling lotus face. So the personality is identified by his face. So if we do not know who Krishna is, we may fail to recognize his actual position. Like Krishna's activities are not to be imitated. Krishna's activities are to be worshipped. Because Krishna is Leela Purushottam. Prabhupada said, if you want to follow the activities of the Lord, follow Ramchandra's activity. Because he is a Marjada Purushottam. Ramchandra's activities, yeah, you can imitate. Go ahead. To fulfill the words of his father, go to the forest for 14 years. And he is perfect in his actions, in his acts. But Krishna is Leela Purushottam. While Ramchandra is setting the standard of action, standard of morality, standard of ethics. Krishna's mood is, he couldn't care less. What people will think, he doesn't care. His thing is, Leela means whatever he wants, he is just doing that. And he is not acting whimsically like that. He is simply responding to the devotion of his greatest devotees. Brajavashis are Krishna's most intimate devotees, and he is simply responding to their love. Therefore, unless and until we recognize this or understand it properly, we are running a great risk. Imitation should never, and scriptures actually says the great personalities' activity should not be imitated. Just like by imitating Lord Shiva, if you drink poison, what will happen? Lord Shiva only can drink an ocean of poison. But you can't even tolerate, you can't even digest a drop of poison. He'll die. So the activities of great personality should not be imitated. What to speak of? The activities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in his Leelas. And so this anecdote is actually to establish what is actually Krishna's pastime. Like, is Krishna's dealing with Radharani or the gopis is like the dealing between any human being, a young man and young girl? No. Like in that respect, we can also consider, I was just joking the other day. I mean, it occurred to me quite jokingly, or I responded quite jokingly. We're discussing about how the Muslims are developing the ideas that if one becomes a martyr, then he'll have 14 virgins waiting for him in the heavenly planet or something like that. So, and that's going on. They're being motivated in this way. 14 girls. And my response was, when you don't have this body, what are you going to do with these 14 virgins? When you don't have the body, then what's the point in? Because all your, sensual pleasures are related to the body. This gross body. Now, consider, to go into the spiritual world, you have to go there with the spiritual bodies. Now, the gross body's act cannot even be experienced with the subtle body. So what to speak of? And another consideration is, in order to enter into spiritual world, in order to even enter into Brahmajyoti, you have to become a perfect brahmachari. Unless one has become a perfect brahmachari, he can't enter into the spiritual world. Meaning, unless and until one has conquered the sex desire, one cannot enter into the spiritual world. So even to enter into the spiritual world, one has to become sex desire. So where is the question of that kind of dealings in the topmost region of the spiritual sky. So in this way you have to understand that all the acts there are of absolute purity. There is no stress of, no possibility of an iota of any kind of mundane contamination there. So anyway, Krishna actually, the way he deals with the gopis is very amusing, provided we take it with the right spirit. Like Rupa Goswami is explaining in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, in Nectar of Devotion. You see, Krishna's, apparently Radharani is married to Abhimanyu. Who is Abhimanyu? Abhimanyu actually is Krishna's shadow. It's expansion of Krishna. But the dealing is there as if she is married. Why? Because in loving exchange, when there is obstacle, the intensity of love increases. Like, so that's why Jogomaya makes this arrangement, as if Radharani is married to Abhimanyu. And you see, in Indian families, I think in the Western families also, like the daughter-in-law has a very sweet relationship with the mother-in-law and sister-in-law. So, and that is a very common happenings in Indian families. So, mother-in-law is Jyotila and sister-in-law is Kutila. And they are kind of obstacle. They feel they have a feeling, they're convinced actually that their Bahu, Radharani, is having an affair with someone else. So in the Indian society that is absolutely undesirable, especially from the mother-in-law and sister-in-law. And as a result of that, there are so many funny situations. Like Rupa Goswami is describing in Nectar of Devotion. One day, Abhimanyu had to go to a distant place. So he told his mother, for a few days I'm just going. So okay, take care. And so Abhimanyu left. And at that time Krishna, soon after that, Krishna, assuming the form of Abhimanyu, came there. And Jyotila asked, what happened? You just left. Why did you come back? Mother, I was missing you so much. So I thought that I'll do that job some other time. It's not that important. I better come and spend some time with you. So mother is very happy. Beta andar ja. Son, go inside. And so, and then Abhimanyu came back. Real Abhimanyu. And Jyotila said, who are you? Mother, don't you recognize me? I am your son, Abhimanyu. My son, Abhimanyu. You rascal, saying she picked up a broom and started to beat him up. So this is how the funny exchanges take place. And they suspect, there are many occasions they practically came, they suspect that something is going on between Radha and Krishna. And they almost came to catch them red-handed, but they couldn't. So one day, Kutila, the sister-in-law of Radharani, Abhimanyu's sister, she heard some talking from the Radharani's room, sound of talking. And she went close to the room, started to eavesdrop. Yeah, 100% sure this is Krishna. Okay, today I'm going to catch him red-handed. But as soon as she opened the door, Krishna jumped out of the window and ran out. She was feeling so bad. I came so close to catching him and I couldn't. But then she noticed that in a hurry, Krishna forgot to take his flute. The flute is on his bed. Okay, couldn't catch Krishna, but I caught him. So she took the flute, took Radharani by her hand, dragged her to the courtyard, called everybody, and very eloquently she started to describe what happened. I couldn't catch him, but in a hurry he forgot the flute. And Radharani, with her head bending down, shedding tears. At that time, Purnamasi came there. Purnamasi is Jogamaya. So she asked, what's happened? What happened? Why are you all gathered here like this? And why my dear Radha is shedding tears like that? Then Kutila started to explain what happened. Purnamasi started to laugh. Such a serious matter and you are taking it so lightly, you are laughing. What's the matter with you? Purnamasi said, don't you know? Last night there was a rain of flutes. Come Kutila, let's go to your room. In her room there are 3 flutes on her bed. Let's see, Jyotila, your room, there are 12 flutes on it. So this is how Radharani is always saved from this kind of calamities. And another time, the gopis were there with Krishna. Radharani was there with Krishna. And in the middle of the night, then Kutila thought, today I'll catch them red-handed. And Jyotila and Kutila are the worshippers of Kali. They're Kali worshippers. So they came, everyone got worried, oh my God, they are coming. Krishna said, don't worry. So he assumed the form of Kali. And they started to worship. And they were very pleased, mother-in-law and sister-in-law. Oh, my Bahu is worshipping Kali with so much devotion. And Kali worship actually takes place in the middle of the night. Anyway, to go back to that, now Radharani is feeling, I can't give up my love for Krishna, and I know it is not right. I am a married woman, I shouldn't think of anyone else other than my husband. But what to do, I can't help it. So I better give up this body. Let me just give up this body. So Krishna, naturally as the super soul, he understood what was going on in Radharani's mind. And at that time he was on his mother's lap, Mother Jashoda's lap. And all of a sudden Krishna fainted. Mother Jashoda screamed, like, what happened to my baby? Fainted. Looks like he's dead. No sign of life. Nanda Maharaj came running. Mother Jashoda said, please do something. Get a doctor. So Nanda Maharaj immediately ran out of the house. And then he saw one doctor, Ayurvedic doctor, is coming. Actually, in the Vedic culture, by the dress you can make out who is who. So, so he asked the doctor, look, my son actually fainted. It seems to be in a very serious condition. Will you please come and treat him? Sure, don't worry. I can even make a dead man alive. And so they brought him. So he examined the boy. a very serious condition. There's only one cure for this. No medicine will work. The only cure is that Jamuna water. So everyone got excited. Oh, Jamuna water is just here, so yeah. No, Jamuna water has to be brought by in a bucket with hundreds of holes in it. How can anybody carry water in a bucket that has hundreds of holes in it? Yeah, I know. But if a chaste woman, really chaste woman, carries the water, she will be able to carry. So Mother Jashoda said, okay, I'll go and get it. No. If the mother does it, it won't work. Then one after another different girls tried. Didn't succeed. Very serious condition. It looks like in Vrindavan there is no chaste woman. Anyway, let me see. Let me make some calculation. So he drew some figure, lines and things. He said, yeah, I can see two names there. Oh, Jotila and Kutila. So said, immediately they ran and gave the news to Jotila and Kutila. Jotila and Kutila were very happy to hear that. Yes, this Vaid really knows what is he talking about. Very proudly they came. Kutila said, Mother, why should you take the trouble? I'll go and get it. She went, very proudly lowered the bucket, but as soon as she lifted it, all the water drained out. Jotila started to scream, you disgrace to the family. You better drown yourself in Jamuna. Then she picked up the bucket. Same thing happened. The Vaid became very, very concerned. Such a simple thing you cannot accomplish. Anyway, let me make another calculation and see if I can get some other names. Yeah, one name came up. Who is that? Thank you. Radha. So Mother Jashoda herself went. Radhe, this is what has happened. Krishna's condition is very serious and this is the only way that he can be revived, the doctor said. Radha said, please, not me. Everybody knows my situation. Mother Jashoda said, look, Radha, you are the only hope. Please come. So with faltering steps and heavy heart, Radha came there. With shaking hands, she picked up the bucket, went to the river, and as she pulled that up, not a single drop of water dropped. The water was brought to the Vaid. He took the water, chanted some mantra, sprinkled it onto Krishna's body. Krishna opened his eyes. So this is how it has been proven who is the most chaste woman in this world. And in that world as well. Now you know who is the doctor? Yeah. So this is how Krishna proved that Radharani is the most chaste of all women. So Does anybody have any question? You have a question? Yeah.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Guru Maharaj, you mentioned a statement.
Yeah.
A statement here that great personalities' activities should not be imitated. But in Bhagavad Gita, we also understand that as leaders do, common men follow. So, how to reconcile these two?
Yeah. Jajjad acharati shreshtas lokastat anuvartati. Like sajat pramanam kurute. The standard that he establishes for people to follow. Not every single act. Right? Like certain acts only a great personality can perform. The example is Lord Shiva. Like drinking poison, he did it out of necessity. But people, they kind of take ganja, charas, opium, dhutura in the name of Lord Shiva. That's not right. Those acts should not be imitated. And another thing is imitation and following. When there is an ideal standard, that should be. But imitation is just acting in a way that one is not actually able to do it himself. Okay?
Thank you, Guru Maharaj. Another question was about Ekadashi and all the instructions that were given, and yet we have Srila Prabhupada who made it a little lenient for us. So, how do we understand both the instructions together?
Like what?
So, like here in Ekadashi, we said full fasting,
I see.
but Prabhupada made it a little easy.
The thing is that, we should try to increase our standard, not decrease. Gradually, okay, at the initial stage, we are not able to. But our standard should be, the way it has been given in the scriptures. Like, that is what we should try to achieve. Not that, because Prabhupada allowed us to be in this level, we should always remain in this level.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Any other question? Yes, Ajay.
You were mentioning that Krishna as a super soul knows what's going on.
Krishna
as a super soul knows what's going on in the mind of Radharani and other gopis. So in the spiritual world or in the spiritual form also, is Krishna present as Paramatma in the body, like in the material body?
Okay, good point. You see, Krishna is omniscient. He knows everything as a Supreme Personality of Godhead. Even though he may not be present as a super soul in the hearts of the living entity. The super soul aspect is only in the material nature. In the spiritual world, Krishna is not Paramatma, super soul. Krishna is Bhagavan. And although he is all knowing, all cognizant, but for the sake of pastimes, he forgets, or this forgetfulness is something like a good actor becomes the role that he is playing. He forgets himself. So when Krishna is playing the pastimes, he just becomes that character, and he kind of doesn't act as the all-knowing Supreme Personality of God. And Yogamaya helps in that way. Yogamaya, in this way, assists Krishna also. not only she is making everyone else play the perfect role. She makes even Krishna also play the role perfectly as the director of the play. Maybe Jadunath can say that. Isn't it, Jadunath? In order to, a good actor, a good actor forgets himself and becomes the role that he is playing. He has to.
Yeah, all of his considerations become the consideration of the character. So it's not like he's removed, he's fully present, but it's not the concerns I have at home, I don't have at this moment. I have the character's concerns. Does that make sense?
No, I didn't get that.
I'm agreeing with you, basically, yeah. He's forgetting, the actor forgets his own considerations. And concerns.
Right.
In that
He becomes that. Like, for example, an actor playing the role of a villain. He becomes a villain at the time.
Yeah.
And a good actor will become 100% that role that he's playing.
Yes, that's true.
Totally
Especially
forgetting himself.
The example of a villain is a good one because if you're playing an evil character, you still have to find, as an actor, you still have to find something that you love about that character. Because no villain thinks himself evil.
Very good. That's a detail. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, Rishi Prabhu.
It's just about the Shruti-chari gopis, Rishi-chari gopis. Do they are they in the same group in the spiritual world? They have their own group led by ones?
Yeah. That has been explained here. They actually, different groups of individuals who were given the opportunity, they took birth in certain families, like
So,
particular ones.
Are they aware that,
For example, the Shruti-chari gopis, the Vedas personified, they were born in Bengal. They are Bengali gopis. not born in Bengal, actually. Their family shifted to Vrindavan from Bengal. And in that family, they were born.
There were different groups of rasa dances going on, or there was just one big, huge rasa dance?
Well, it is, first of all, there were circles. Like in the center, Radha and Krishna. Then first circle, there are 8 gopis. The second circle, there are 100 gopis. And in this way, the circle becomes bigger.
Thank you.
Shaman? Okay.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj. I have a question. I know that these are very intimate pastimes for Lord Krishna, and that we're not supposed to really dive too deep into them. And even Prabhupada, when he was asked to discuss, I've read Leela Marita, that when he was asked to discuss the 10th canto, he just kind of backed away from that. But I'm curious, since we're discussing it, what are the lessons, or really what are the main things that we're meant to draw from that in our stage of bhakti? Like, what are the things that we can really pull from it without getting into that, trying to concoct something from that intimate experience?
Intimate experience in which way?
Well, I'm curious what are the lessons for us at our level to be able to draw from discussing these pastimes, since it's not for us to get deep into the intimate components.
Yeah, the lesson that we must learn is that all the beautiful girls are meant for Krishna's enjoyment. That's how all the men should think. And all the women should feel that Krishna is my only object of love. So everyone actually should feel that Krishna is my only object of love. And men should think that because Krishna is the only object of love, and in reality it is that. Krishna is the only supreme enjoyer. And everyone else is enjoyed. But in the material nature, what one thinks? The beautiful girls are meant for my enjoyment. Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur says in this respect, Kaminir kam nahe tabo dham, tahar malik kebal jadov. The attraction for women is not meant for you. The Lord and Master of all the beautiful women is Krishna. In simple words, Chaitanya Charitamrita is saying, Atmendriya priti bancha tare boli kam, Krishnendriya priti ichha dhare prem nam. The desire for one's own sense gratification is called lust. The desire to give pleasure to Krishna's senses is love. So that is the lesson we all have to learn.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj. Regarding the pastimes where gopis pray to different demigods like Madakali or Katyayani Devi or Surya, in the spiritual world, Golok Vrindavan, do they similarly pray? And if so, what is the consideration that where are these demigods? Because that's the highest of all material and spiritual worlds. There's nobody above them.
You see, the Golok, things are not there, but they carry the memories of Bhoma Vrindavan. Like the memories are there, like Krishna's pastimes in Vrindavan, that they have experienced. Like those memories are carried. For example, in Golok, there is no Bala Lila. Childhood pastimes are not there in Golok. But there is a feeling, when Krishna was young, he used to do that. In Golok, there is no demons. But there is a feeling that, these demons may come and attack. Kamsa is still, the feeling, Kamsa is still there in Mathura. God knows what's going to do. Like that, these impressions are there in the memory. So this is how, like in Golok, those experiences are manifest. As a memory, not really there, but appears to be, like could happen, could be, or did happen.
Thank you.
Another thing is, of course, like Brihad Bhagavatamritam is actually explaining that in Golok, Keshi is there. But Keshi is fully tamed in Krishna's stable. Arishtasura is there, fully tamed. Kaliya is there. And Krishna goes out on a joy ride on Kaliya from time to time. So like that, like Krishna goes on a joy ride, riding on Keshi demon. Like there he is not a demon, but like these personalities are present there. Okay. Any other? Yes, Mother Sucharya.
When you were reading the story about Krishna and he was speaking with the gopis, and then it said, and the girls said. So who were the girls? Was it just Srimati Radharani that was talking? Were they all consulting with each other and then answering Krishna? Or were different gopis speaking to him?
Yeah, it describes, when Radharani is speaking, it says, Radha spoke. Here, Narad Muni is describing. But when other gopis are speaking, he is saying that the gopis said it. Okay, 1:00. Thank you all very much. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Gaur Premanande Hari. Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunnavadi Paschata Dishatani. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.